Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? You know, it's D-Man the Greaser, and this is a video of why I like cigars. Here we go.
Pop, we're gonna stop, we're gonna rock, gonna boogie in the dark. Oh yes, I'm gonna love you. Oh yes, I'm gonna love you. Oh yes, I'm gonna love you, baby, love you all night long.
Alrighty, so the cigar I'm going to be smoking today is going to be a La Aroma Cuba. And no, this is not a Cuban cigar. It's actually from Nicaragua. But I thought of like starting a video, just having a quick cigar and just explaining why I like them. And you know, I've talked about it on this channel. You know, I like mostly Perdomos on this channel. But to tell you the truth, like D-Man, my favorite, yeah, D-Man's one of his favorite cigars is actually a La Aroma, pretty good, inexpensive cigar, and it tastes pretty well, and yeah, it's always been a pretty good go-to of mine. So I'm gonna just cut it. There you go. Oh yeah. And just the torch I'm going to be using, just it's not a Zippo lighter, but it's a Zippo style, but it is actually just a torch and burns pretty well. Absolutely love it. The only downside about having this torch is you have to refill it all the time, so, but that's not a problem. Just trying to get this cigar lit and get into the video. There we go. Oh yeah, nothing beats a pretty good cigar, especially when it's like a low aroma or a Perdomo or whatever. And sorry if like there's so much smoke getting up to the camera. It's just pretty humid out here in Tucson. Knock on wood, we're trying to expect some rain because monsoons is happening right now. And when it gets monsoon season, it's going to get humid, so yeah. So hopefully, well, and we haven't had rain all summer, so hopefully we get rain soon, so yeah. Alrighty, so to the video. Why do I like cigars so much? Well, it's simple. They're just better than cigarettes. No, I'm kidding. Well, yeah, that's actually, well, I'm not kidding with that part. But, you know, the thing I like about cigars is, I mean, this is why I say to people why I like cigars. I deal with stress all the time, and, you know, people always said, oh, you know, you should try weed or, you know, smoke cigarettes instead. Well, mostly smoke weed. And, you know, and to be honest with you, I don't see the appeal of weed, besides just having something to get high to. With cigars, it's just something that, to me, cigars just relieve stress, alright? You know, there's people that treat cigars like a luxury, but people like myself and several other people, we treat it like as a relaxer, you know, something that we can enjoy. And I think that's just a reason why a lot of the cigar guys just love cigars. Another thing, number two, why I like cigars. You know, it's pure craftsmanship with cigars, alright? Everything when it comes to handmade, hand-rolled, premium tobacco cigars is pure craftsmanship. And let me explain this why. You know, tell you the truth, cigars, it is a process to manufacture and make. I mean, there's so many steps that's being taken to making cigars. Like, of course, you have to grow the leaves, you gotta dry them out, ferment them. You know, there's so many processes. I mean, you know, a lot of premium tobacco cigars, you know, it takes them up to like 5 or 6 years or so just to be manufactured. So, they're not being made out of factory like a cigarette. Like cigarettes are made like every day. Cigars, they take time to make though. And yeah, I just think it's pure craftsmanship. I mean, like, look at the cigar that I'm smoking right here. I mean, this probably took a lot of people to actually make alone. And the way I just look at it is just pure craftsmanship. It's art. It's an art form. Number 3, why I like cigars so much. It opens your taste buds. It opens the palate of your tongue. And what I mean is, I noticed this before, like when I smoked cigars, that I didn't know too much on flavor stuff, to be honest, whether it's like food, drinks, whatever. But after I've been smoking cigars, so everybody's palate of tongue is gonna be different. When it comes, like whether it's it's gonna be different. Like everybody's tongue or palate is gonna be different. And it is no different with cigars. You're gonna get different kind of flavors and different kinds of tastes with a cigar and with your palate. But I find that with smoking cigars, you're kind of like thinking of what you're kind of tasting. You're like really going deep down on your. Man, the humidity is like making me itchy. So oh no. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I got distracted there. But what I mean by its ability to like kind of open your palate to more taste is that everybody's taste is going to be so different and unique at the same time. Like when it comes to smoking cigars, and I just find that you are building and expanding your palate though too, of different flavors of anything in general, and I think that's like a good benefit in why I smoke cigars. It's a way that I can build and keep my palate like expanding for different flavors, and I really enjoy that. Going back to different tastes of things, and this is number 3, why I like cigars. And I think I'm just going to make this like a 10 things like why I like cigars so much and explain to you about cigars. And yeah, anyway. Yeah, number three is technically now this is number 4. Where was I? Yeah, number 4. The reason why I just love cigars so much is you can take your time. You don't have to rush into things. Unlike cigarettes, it's a rush thing. You just want quick nicotine. You could care less about the flavor. You're just getting more of a smoke and whatever. These things will take someone probably 5-10 minutes or so to smoke. And I'll smoke them from time to time, but I do smoke cigars a little bit more. And I'll get into another point after this point here. When it comes to cigars and I like to take my time on things. Oh, there goes the sirens. Yeah, I live nearby the firehouse / the paramedic station, so we hear the sirens almost every other night and day or so. And yeah, anyway, what I mean by taking time is I don't like to rush into things so much. I like to take my time on any other thing, and that's no different with cigars. Again, cigars is something to be enjoyed with. It's not supposed to be like an addictive thing. Like you need a cigar like almost every 6 minutes, like a cigarette, like cigarette smokers. They need like a cigarette like every 10 or so minutes, and they always rush into things. Cigars, it's like I probably will smoke like maybe 2 a day, or maybe just one a day, or maybe like 1 or 2 a week, and that's tops. 1 or 2 a week. That's just max with cigars for me. And again, it goes back to the craftsmanship. It takes a lot of time to make these cigars. So, and I think like with smoking cigars, I think we should give back the favor of the cigar makers, saying, okay, we're taking our time to smoke these. I mean, these things are meant to be enjoyed. These things are going to give you so much flavor, It's going to be natural. It's just a great feeling to have a good cigar. And I think just taking your time, it's all worth it. And and we do live in and this is coming from a guy from YouTube, and I'm not affiliated with him. I forget what the guy's YouTube channel. He's like a cowboy, beard, long hair. You guys probably know who I'm talking about, whoever's watching. He also smokes cigars too, and he brings a good point that, this kind of, nowadays, like, people are always rushing to things. People go on like the highway, they need to get from point A to point B in a quick hurry. They need their McDonald's, they need food quick. Everything has to be quick for them. Everything has to be a rush. And sometimes, sometimes having a rush, it kind of, it's like, I don't know, it's something with the humidity that's just itchy. Anyway, sometimes I don't like to be rushed. And, I like to take my time on things. And I think with being in a rush, you're just stressing out more. But with cigars, when you take your time with them, you are like relaxed, man. You will easily get so relaxed. Especially when you go to a cigar lounge. Like, you get, I sat in a cigar lounge for like 2 hours, just talking to old guys, talking about cigars, game, like sports, movies, and whatever. And it's super worth it just to take your time with them. And then those guys are there longer than you are half the time, so yeah. The fifth thing that I really like about cigars, they're natural. Alright? They're natural. They're not like cigarettes. Cigarettes. They're not really natural. Cigarettes are made in factories, and about so many chemicals and so many things are put into cigarettes. Cigars, on the other hand, unless if you're doing unless if it's like if you're doing it's like inversion or whatever, you inverting flavor or whatever, but that's different. I could get into that in another video. But traditional cigars, there's not so much chemicals into them, and the additives that are in cigars, they're gonna, there's some different flavors. Like, some people taste like chocolate, vanilla, coffee kind of flavor, like natural flavoring. All right. When it comes to flavoring, like, unlike cigarettes filled with chemicals, factory made. These things are natural. I mean, 99% of this cigar right here is all tobacco. If I took a knife, which I'm not, because it's not worth it with this cigar. Now, if it was like severely cracked, then yeah, I'll probably take a knife and cut it open, but the cigar is perfect. Anyway, when it comes to being natural with cigars, I mean, first of all, this is all pure. This cigar here is all pure tobacco. Like 99% of it, it's like pure tobacco. The leaf is tobacco. The inside of it's all tobacco. And the additives that they put in cigars is like, stuff like cocoa, like a little bit of cocoa bean, maybe some coffee beans, hickory, stuff that's actually naturally made, something that's not produced in a factory. And yeah, I think these things can be made in factories, but they're hand rolled. They're naturally made in another country, and it's not it's not China or anything. Now, there's some cigars that come from Connecticut, but yeah, no, like, cigars are all naturally made. Minus the gas station cigars, like the Black and Mild and Swiftners, whatever, and yeah. So yeah, that's my fifth point. These things are natural. These are natural to smoke, and again, you're not getting any chemicals when you, unlike a cigarette. Number 6, why I enjoy cigars. They're a social thing. They're a social thing that you can enjoy with other people. If you go into, and it's funny though too, and the guy I was talking about, I'll mention his YouTube channel in the description below, and he has another good point on this too, that not a lot of people smoke cigars, especially people like my age or younger, like someone that's like my age to like maybe 30 or so. Not a lot of people smoke cigars. And if you go into a cigar lounge, you know, you're mostly gonna like see like, you know, older guys, maybe like, you know, maybe 45 and up. And, you know, they're just smoking cigars, chilling, whatever. But when they see a young guy like me, and maybe some youngsters like you, who walk in a cigar shop, they will get impressed. They'll be impressed. They're like, oh, that's cool. Like, a guy that age is actually wanting to get into cigars and actually enjoy cigars. And when you're at a young age and you want to get into cigars, you know, and I do this all the time at a cigar lounge, you know, I'll ask well, either like the store employee that's working at the lounge, like maybe some recommendations. But if you guys are new at cigars and you know you want a good recommendation on a good cigar, go ask some of the guys that are smoking in the lounge. They'll recommend you some good cigars, and they'll teach you anything. You know, they'll teach you about life, you know, marriage, you know, different movies, their stories, and you know, just good cigar tips. And you know, going back to it's a social thing. You know, again, not a lot of people smoke cigars, and I'll admit that. I'm like I go into a bar sometimes, I'll be like the only one smoking a cigar. And like everybody's smoking like a cigarette or weed or, you know, anything that isn't a cigar. And you know, and every time I go into a bar, into a smoking lounge, or like places like a country western club, and when I go into a smoking lounge and people see me with a cigar, a lot of people go up to me and say, whoa, that's a cool cigar. Whoa, you're smoking a cigar? You know, people will ask you questions. People will go up to you and talk to you, and they'll be impressed with you, guaranteed. And yeah, it's just something that like you can enjoy with other people, and especially if you go into a cigar lounge. So it's a very, cigars are a very social thing, and yeah. That'll be number 6. Just trying to get the ash dabbed in there. There we go. Oh, and I want to make another point back to the whole rushing thing. I think it's like at number 5 or number 4. How I don't like to rush things. You know, with cigars, it is a process it's a process to light these. But that's what I like about them. It's not like a cigarette where you need a lighter, boom, light, boom, you're good. You know, I showed you how to light a cigar on my one video. And it's a process, you know, you gotta toast it first, then you grab your lighter, and you have to have certain lighters or certain matches, whatever that you're lighting it with. And it's a process, and I like that. You know, you're trying to get more of the flavor out of it. So I'm gonna just add that in there too. Man, I think the humidity is like really killing my cigar right now, because yeah, I'm getting hardly anything, but yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I may have to just relight it just a little bit. Yeah, sorry guys. It must be the humidity, because it is pretty humid outside tonight. And I think it's just affecting the cigar a little bit. So yeah. See, what do I want to add for number 7? I'm just like trying. So yeah. Interesting. Oh, and with number 7, there's so many cigars out there. Another thing I like about cigars, other than cigarettes, you know, yeah, there's different brands of cigarettes, but to be honest, cigarettes are all the same, really. Whereas cigars, there's so many different kinds of cigars out there with different flavoring, and it's all natural. Again, it's all natural, and I just like the variety of the different kinds of cigars, whether it's the sizes maybe the manufacturer or where it's grown at. I love that variety, and I think those flavors, the flavor of of those cigars make an impact of stuff, and yeah, I really enjoy that for number 7. Ooh, that's so good. Number 7, I have to say, is, I would say there are health benefits with cigars, to be honest. Yeah, I know people are going to say to you and go up to you, people who don't know a thing or two about cigars, they're going to go and say, oh, well, that's just a big cigarette, that's not healthy for you, blah, 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 blah. Look, I've never said at all these things are healthy. I say there's few health benefits with cigars, other than cigarettes. But are they healthy? Are they healthy for you? Absolutely not. I mean, let's just be honest. I think we live in an era where we're always concerned, oh, what's healthy for you, what's not healthy for you. And I've always found that, honestly, anything can be unhealthy for you, all right? It could be, doesn't have to be just cigars or alcohol or whatever. There's so many things that are unhealthy for you, really. Like, there's caffeine, even water can be unhealthy, breathing too much air, the weather can be unhealthy, anything can be a health risk. And, that's no different with smoking cigars. And I tell people, I'm very well aware of the health risk when it comes to smoking cigars. I'm very well aware. But they have to understand that, and people have to understand, there are some health benefits there. I say cigars really boost your testosterone quite a bit. Your testosterone levels. I've always find that a good cigar really builds your testosterone, and you're eager and you have a good, I wouldn't say ego or prideful, because I really want to stay away from pride, because pride can put you into shit. But your testosterone, you have ambition when you smoke a cigar, because your testosterone can go up for that. And I think that's a pretty cool health benefit. And yeah, and there's a couple of health benefits you guys can look up. I mean, that's just one of them. I'm just gonna say out there, but yeah, there's a few health benefits out there. So yeah, that's just number 7. Number 8 is, they're better than cigarettes. All right, again, this goes back to, like, these things, they're unhealthy for you, sure. There's definitely a lot of health benefits. There's a lot of health risks when it comes to smoking cigars or smoking anything, and that applies for cigarettes. However, like, studies have shown, like, least likely people are going to be really affected by smoking cigars other than cigarettes. Cigarettes, we all know that, and there's proven studies that cigarettes are, they kill a lot. I mean, they do kill you, They do give you cancers or such, and they can cause cancers. Cigars can too, but, there's a lot of studies have shown that, like, less likely people die or get cancer or whatever from cigars than they do with cigarettes. Yeah, like the stories that you hear of people getting cancer because of cigars, like guys like Rush Limbaugh and whatever. But to be honest with you, he probably didn't smoke them like as an enjoyment. He smoked them as like an addiction, and he probably smoked cigarettes too. But but there's a lot of stories of a lot of famous people actually who, they've actually lived quite a bit of a long time. Like, even though they smoked like a lot of cigars a day. Like, for example, Winston Churchill. I didn't know this, but he actually died at the age of 90. I've always thought he died in his 60s or 70s because of cigars. But the guy was in his 90s, and the guy smoked like a chimney with cigars. So I have a hard time feeling that he died because of cigars. All right, maybe a little bit, but I mean, he was 90. That was old for that time. Richard Overton, he used to be the oldest World War II veteran. He died like at 108 or 107. You guys can put it in the comments when he died. I mean, I may be off by a little bit, but yeah. And again, he smoked like 6 cigars a day and he drank a lot of whiskey too. And he was the oldest World War II veteran. So you're less likely to die from these, and these things are way better for you than cigarettes. However, there is a way to smoke them too. And you don't inhale them unlike cigarettes. Cigarettes, you just inhale them. These things, you're not really supposed to inhale them. Again, it goes back to the taste and open your palates. You know, because you don't inhale them, that's the whole point. You really want to take your time, get to know the taste of it, and you shouldn't be inhaling it in the first place. It's more of like opening doors to different flavors for you. So yeah, that's why I like cigars so much. You know, they're better for you than cigarettes. Now, are they healthy? Absolutely not. Is there a health benefit? Is there health benefits for cigars? Absolutely. Are there health risks or benefits? Absolutely. But, you know, are they better than cigarettes? Oh, 100%. 100%. There's no comparison with them. And that brings me another thing too when it comes to, like, they're at number 9. Number 9? Number 9? Number 9. Man, because it's like so humid right now, all these like little moths or so are really attracted to my lighting right here, right behind the camera. And I don't know how much are going onto the actual camera lens, so I apologize if there's so many moths out there. Anyway, when it comes to number 9, you know, there's other ways you can taste that flavor of cigar. You know, again, it goes back to like everybody's taste of cigars and flavors is going to be different, and that's why you should really take the time and like really like kind of train your palate to open the flavors and open those doors so you can get those flavors in. And when it comes to number 9, you know, there's other ways you can smoke them. You know, you can retrohale them, where you kind of like you're retro puffing or so. Ooh. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get finished with this video pretty soon, just because my battery's about to die. Yeah, I should have charged just before I did the video. When you retrohale, it's like you puff into some cigars, but you're gonna breathe it through your nose, but you're not inhaling it. But it gives you a lot of good flavor though too. So yeah, there's ways you can really smoke these, and it's awesome. So yeah, I think that's going to be kind of it for now. You know, yeah. And another thing is, at number 10, you know, people are going to give you shit sometimes. You know, I mean, again, y'all know I'm a greaser, and sometimes I get shit on. I'm not going to say any names, and they're probably going to know who I'm talking about. Sometimes I get shit on for smoking cigars on one of the greaser group chats I'm in on Instagram. And you know, cigars aren't like manly enough if you have to smoke pipes. You know what? You could don't listen to what anybody says about you with cigars. You know, and you know, on the group chat they're just joking, or people are just joking around. But you know, do whatever you want do whatever you want. You know, you can always smoke a pipe. I honestly prefer cigars over a pipe, in my opinion. Just personally, in my opinion. And yeah, you know, don't listen. You know, it's something that you don't have to listen to what the crowd is saying. And you know, you guys, a lot of you guys know me. I probably have talked about this before on my channel, that I don't like to follow the crowd too much. And you know, I kind of like to do kind of my own thing though too, half the time. So I just like cigars just because of that. You know, just like yeah, something that I just enjoy. So yeah, I think that's like 10 things why I like cigars, and probably kind of gets you a good like detail of like about cigars smoking and so. Now, when it comes to cigar smoking, you know, you don't want to smoke these like a cigarette, and you don't want to smoke them like as an addiction. You know, you want to smoke these as an enjoyment, as something to relieve stress, to relieve stress, and just for good pleasure and having good taste. You know, smoking these like a cigarette, that's not the whole point. You're just wasting a good cigar like that. So yeah, that's just like one little tip, and yeah. Oh, and quick little announcements. Next week on the 22nd, I'll be filming at a psychobilly, rockabilly thing up in downtown. And my good buddy from the Res Tones, Wally, he and his band, apparently they're playing over there. So I'm definitely gonna film them. Go check the Res Tones out. They're insane good. They're a good psychobilly, rockabilly band. You know, I saw them play at the Rockabilly Bash. I think I filmed it for a little bit, but I didn't get good audio for it. But yeah, so definitely go check out the Res Tones. I'll leave a description down below of the cigar guy I was like telling you guys about, the cowboy, about why he smokes cigars and why he likes them. He has a better answer than I do. But these are just reasons why I like cigars, really, and yeah. You know, maybe on my next video or another video I can talk about like some of my favorite cigar YouTube channels, like probably top 5 YouTube channels and cigar guys, and guys y'all should check out if you guys are getting into cigars, and yeah. So yeah, so always remember, stay positive, stay wild, stay faithful, smoke a good cigar, and yeah, keep on rockabilly and rockin', and I'll see you guys on the next video. Dig it. Peace. Man, that's a good cigar.
Born to lose, I've lived my life in vain. Every dream has always brought me pain. The world, the happiness I knew.